Alright guys, back with another one. This one's gonna be on the Aerocatch hood latches. Alright, this is one of my favorite mods. I try to do them on pretty much every build now, especially when they have hood vents, okay? It makes it look more aggressive. It's easier to open the hood, especially when you guys go on car shows, the track, whatever. Alright, not to mention on older E36s, the end cap and little lever likes to get stiff. At least in my case, I see it's pretty common, and then they eventually pop. So while the car was apart, I decided why not let me add some of these after I added them on my G8. So yeah, that's gonna be on the main today. I went ahead and installed one side because this is a tricky car to install it on, but I figured it out. All right, I used my little noodle and got it done. So I'm gonna overview that real quick, and then we're gonna jump to the other side and do the whole install. Okay, let's get into it. All right, like I said, I did one side already. You can see, opens and closes, no problem. All right, opens and closes perfectly, but as much as I like to say it was easy, it was kind of a pain. I don't know how well it's showing on camera right now, but there's two bolts here and the red rod that, you know, the latch attaches to. Underneath it is a metal plate because I had to space this rod further down because there was no space as the bottom of this latch is touching the core support. But let me zoom in and show you guys what I'm talking about. And that is because under here, I had to put a plate to space it out because you can see the nut on top and bottom sandwiched on this plate. There was absolutely no space here because what's happening is the bottom of this latch is touching the core support. All right, so I had to just space it like that. And you can see I cut that, it's ugly, but plenty of space. Here's the headlight installed. So let's go ahead and get started on the driver's side, all right? All right, the very first thing I did was I took a ruler, right? And I just measured an inch off of this point on both sides, okay? So my point being, wherever you choose to put it, wherever you want it located on the hood, my advice is start somewhere and drill a hole, okay? I already took a ruler and measured up and marked the dot on both sides when I did that side, okay? So what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and get this started. All right. All right, now the next thing I'm gonna do is take my drill bit and come from the bottom side, all right? Stick it through that hole, close the hood, and get the drilling, okay? Because that will mark on the hood where the pin will be located, okay? Or not the pin, the red rod that latches the hood, okay? So let me put that on time lapse. Now real quick before you start, make sure you have your blue tarp or whatever to cover up your engine bay, whatever. You don't want to get it saturated with fine particles and fine metal, okay? But these are my favorite Dremels, okay? So get you a little Dremel kit with some, you know, metal cutoff wheels. But the other side, I went through 3 of them, okay? Y'all see how small they are. Man, try to turn them around, there we go. See how small they are compared to the new ones. Okay, so hopefully these 3 will get me through it. I think it will, we shall see. Okay, so I went ahead and drilled from the bottom, all right, through this hole. And this is where the drill bit started hitting, all right? Now you wanna get it as straight as possible, okay? It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna get you in the ballpark. That's all you need. So what I'm gonna do now is, because this is 2 layered, I am going to cut this away with the Dremel and then come right back again and drill from the bottom again, all right? And then we're gonna drill through the hood, and that is where, wherever the drill bit comes out, that's where the latch area will be. So then you'll have to put the hood latches, and then we're gonna have to clock it the right way to match the other side, okay? So let me get and put that on a time lapse and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so I drilled the bottom, drilled the top, and you see here's I stuck the drill bit in there just to show you guys the angle. Now it's a bit crooked, right? It's off to the left and can come down a little bit. So I marked right there. You see that little mark, just the estimation. You don't need to be spot on. But the reason I do this is because that hole you drilled is just the center for where the latch goes, okay? So once we determine where that is, I'm gonna go ahead and mark up that side, not mark up, take measurements on that side to try to get where this would lay, you know what I'm saying? And once I find that out, I'm gonna, you see I got a little other hole, just kind of tilt it a little bit. And then I'm gonna outline this, okay? And once I outline it, once I get the outline of it, then I will take this, all right, and do the inside outline, all right? I'm probably not explaining that too well, but you guys bear with me. I will show you guys what that means right now, okay? All right, so because I already did this side, rule of thumb, your first side doesn't matter where you place it, all right? You get it where you want, you get it cut out, you get it installed. Then you base your second side you do off the measurements on this side, clearly, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Now, what I try to do is when I was installing this is just get this side eyeballed and, you know, along this line. I think I did a pretty good job. But anyway, how I'm gonna measure that side is I took a ruler, all right, and the fattest part, all right, and I came up with 5 and 2 tick marks, all right, you know, about 5.2 inches, all right, easy peasy, right? So I came over here, marked it right there. That's what this line is, marked it right there, okay? And then along this edge, okay, sucks doing that one hand, okay, and this part of the ruler right there, right there, is exactly lined up with the middle rivet of the heat extractor. So then, this part I can't do with my hand, but when this is laid right here, I will just angle it, all right, with the ruler to where it needs to go. Now, to make sure I was super spot on with my caveman shit, this hole right here, I measured just about 2 inches down because that's what it is here. It's about 2 inches down here, okay? And bend it down. Sorry, it sucks one hand. And when that's bent down, that's where that line is right there, okay? Where that black permanent marker is. Same here, okay? I have that line right there. All right, and then I just bend it down and boom, lined up. So, caveman shit, it doesn't make sense probably until you get into it, but I know this is gonna be spot on with the other side by those caveman tactics, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. I'm gonna show you guys, mark everything and keep pausing the time lapse to kind of explain it better, okay? All right, as y'all can see, we got it all cut out, and this is why you drill that hole, okay? Because boom, it is centered. And I apologize, I'm doing this on my cell phone to get right up close, but all right, let's take some measurements to show you guys the caveman tactics do work. You can see where I measured it before. Hold on, let me get this right. Sorry, this is on my iPhone. There we go, one side, the other side. You see that second tick after the 5, right? The very light permanent marker line. That's where it's supposed to be. And then from here, then we bend it down some. Oh God. Hold on, y'all. Trying to do it. There we go. It sucks doing it with one hand, I apologize. And then this is pointing at that center dot, you see? So it's caveman, it's not 100% exact, but when you look at the two, it will be centered, okay? It'll be the same, and that's all we care about, all right? So let's get to cutting. looks like. It's very jagged, but what I'm gonna do is take the Dremel and smooth it out later on, okay? But first, I'm gonna take the Dremel and this second layer on the inside, I am just going to cut into it in a couple spots just to show me on the bottom where this outline is, okay? Because this sits on top and this sits on the bottom, okay? And you put the nuts in there and that's how they clamp together and they, stick to the hood. But what I need to do is cut further on the inside, all right, on the bottom of the hood. I need to cut around it just to make way so I can stick my finger in there and put the nuts in, all right? So. See where I had to cut the second layer out. I didn't go quite far enough on this side, so I'm gonna have to just cut straight this way. And then I already know, just from looking at this side, that I have to go a little bit higher and cut across just to be sure. Okay, so let's knock that out. Okay, there we go. Plenty of clearance. Let's see, it's about what it's gonna look like. So we're gonna go back on top and we are going to drill some holes. Actually, no, I lied. We have to clearance this out a bit more, push the latch in, and then drill some holes. Now I have to drill the holes out, and then I can remove the tape, clean everything up, put it back in and install it. All right, so let's get to it. All right, there you have it. Now I can remove the tape and install this. I'll put you guys on the time lapse, install from the bottom, and then we will have to attack the radiator support. All right. All right, this is why you want to cover up when you're cutting. All right, look at all this stuff that the tarp caught. It's everywhere. All right. Okay, so this portion, you have the nut, the bolt. All right, this just drops straight in there. And then you have the nut, okay? Now, the mounting plate, it's made so you just drop the nut in, right? From the bottom side. Push it in with your finger, okay? Then you just take the top, all right? Drop it in place and just spin it a little bit and it'll lock, all right? You can see that's in there. It's gonna suck itself in as you tighten it, and then you'll feel it. Just give it a good ugga-dugga, and it'll be fine, all right? I'll put that on time lapse. All right, got a little ahead of myself, drilled out a bigger hole. Still have to go one more step. But the reason is, I have to make a plate. We'll have to cut it down to size because the rod is gonna sit so low, I won't be able to get a nut on top of it, okay? So I have to clearance this as well. This is gonna sit in the middle of it, sandwich in about 1 inch lower under this area, and that way you'll be able to get the adjustment you want to be able to use the hood latches, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to the middle hole. There we go. I wanted to sit just like that, okay? So what I'll end up doing is I have to mark out this area to clearance. This is where I cut on this side. All right. And the other side is good, okay? So one whole second, and just cut right here. All right, this ought to be fine. So that's exactly how I'm gonna have to cut it. See that? So also when it's there, all right, I'll just mark where I need to drill. And there we go. Hopefully that showed up on camera. All right, I got this from Ace Hardware. All right, so I'm just gonna cut this part, drill out every other hole a couple steps bigger, so the bolts and everything can go in, okay? So let me get to cutting this. Okay, so you see the 3 holes here. The plate is cut. All right, like that on the bottom side under here, okay? So it's gonna go like this. You're gonna have the bolt, it's gonna go in, all right? And then you're gonna have your spacer, okay? Spacer, all right, then there. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna screw this guy on. All right, and it's gonna sandwich, it's gonna create that space there so that the rod can properly adjust to where it needs, okay? You get that adjustability. All right, so let's get to installing that. You guys see how the contraption works. Alright, you got the nut on top, and then the nut on the bottom is going to lock this in place wherever it needs to go. Okay, that way it gets the adjustability it needs. Alright, so it's in. Of course, we're gonna cut this down once I make sure this is in position. You can see I just took a needle nose and it's real tight. I got it tight on there, and I scratched it. So be careful, man. It's just little things like that. I scratched that. But first go, let's see how it goes. Oh, first go. Look at that, y'all. First go. Man, that was good, yo. All right, let's get to cutting it down and then locking it in place. wrapping it up. I just took the rubber that came with it and cut it down. It's not the prettiest, but I just use a razor, cut it down. That way, when you drop it and you tighten it, all right, the hood is snug, all right? It's not wanting to bounce around with the wind or on bumps, and it's solid, all right? So I'm gonna open it. I might leave that safety latch in there, I don't know. I might do that, but as y'all can see, there it is. And as a last treat, I am gonna put that light in just to show you guys it does clear. Just like this side. See how much clearance you have. All right, everything's solid, it does not move. Everything's tight now. Yeah. So again, as I can see, it's beautiful. Such an aggressive look with the hood vents. Clears the lights. Everything is nice. Everything is even. The measurements are perfect. It's perfect, y'all. Like I said, there was no tapping, no movement. This thing is solid. All right. All right, so hopefully that wasn't too difficult, right? It was pretty easy on you guys. Hopefully I made sense. Hopefully I was clear and concise. Most of the time I know what I'm doing, but it's just hard for me to try to communicate that to you guys. But like I said, it's an aggressive look. The hood is super secure. I can delete the old hood latch stuff. I may leave that safety catch on it, we'll see. But yeah, it's a great look. Pretty easy to install once I, use the gamer noodle and, went ahead and made that little piece of metal spaced out about 1 inch so that the rod can properly adjust and the hood latch can catch it. So like, subscribe, share, shout out, criticize, comment, whatever you guys. Appreciate y'all checking me out again. Till next week, y'all.